It's true.
Yeah.
Well, you are. You just can't see
I can be
you.
a little nervous.
I know. I'll shut up.
There you go.
I haven't
Hi.
actually either.
Are you recording this? I think it's really good, actually.
So my name is Tracy Nelson, and I played Jennifer DiNuccio on Square Pegs.
You most certainly did. And my name is Claudette Wells, and I played, who did I play? Oh, LaDonna Frederick. and we played best friends.
We decided to do this together because not only were we together on the show, but we kind of have been together since. We're not partners, but we've been
Love
best,
you, babe, but not
love
like
you, babe.
that.
We've been best friends since the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, we met doing the show.
And we bonded over hair issues on the show. And
yeah, big hair issues. We had hair issues. And the hair department.
Well, also, too, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're different colors. And so it took a while for them to figure out how to light us in the same shot. And everything was always a two-shot. So, usually you couldn't see Claudette, and I was blown out to the point where you really couldn't see me either. So,
yeah, because I absorb the light and she reflects the light. You lighting people understand that. And so this was a long time ago, remember. Things have improved.
And I'm going to be really shallow right now and just say that the biggest problem for me on the show was my hair. And that was because right before the show started, I had it cut really, really short, which at the time was very cool. It was very Pat Benatar. It was very, looked really good.
It did look good.
But the director hated it, thought I looked like a boy, so I had to wear a wig.
Which looked like a squirrel on her head.
It was a squirrel. It really, really, really looked like a squirrel. It was horrible.
It was pretty bad. So, and we had...
your hair.
My hair. Oh yeah, my hair. I was set loose on my own to go and find someone to do braids and beads in my hair. I didn't know that they were responsible for finding someone to do braids and beads. So I was driving up and down the streets in South Central LA on my day off, looking for someone. You have to have braids and beads by Tuesday. I was like, okay, so here I go, driving up and down the street looking for signs for braids, and I found one, and I got braids and beads. And
but your hair started to fall out. Your real hair,
no,
didn't it?
It didn't start to fall out, no. But Anne, our creator, producer, writer person, wouldn't have had the show without her, said, you need to change the color of the beads. But I had shot with those beads for a while, so then they got me a wig. And why didn't they do that to begin with? And it saved me from driving all over South LA, on my day off and taking 9 hours in some salon, But anyway, we had hair issues, and so we bonded over those.
And I guess the point is that we were really so young at that point. It was really kind of the first thing either of us had ever done. It was the first thing any of us, except for Sarah. Sarah was a bit intimidating because she'd been on Broadway.
Sarah had been on Broadway, but it was the first TV series
yes, that's
for
true.
any of us.
So none of us really knew yet how things worked, and that we just felt completely responsible for our own look and everything on the show.
Rather than saying, you figure it out,
Yeah, and we will just focus on the acting.
Yeah, but, well, we did that too.
But I have to say, I am so grateful to Anne and to the show, because truly she took some major, major risks with everybody that she cast in these parts. I mean, when we were auditioning, I probably won't, no, I won't name names, but there were some pretty well-known people.
Major singing stars.
Major singing stars who have recently had weight issues, but we won't talk about it.
We won't mention who they are.
In the hallway, waiting to read, and I remember going in, I actually walked out. And I called my agent, and I called my agent and said, I can't read against these people. It's too scary. They're big stars. And he said, no, just go. And I remember for me, what was good was doing this kind of a character voice that really I was imitating the girls in my high school. Oh gosh, I haven't done it in so long. And they all kind of talk like this. And she said like a lot, and well, I kind of did Jennifer like that as the popular girl in school, and nobody had really done that on TV before except for Lorraine Newman on Saturday Night Live. She did Sherry the Stewardess like that, sort of. And I remember after the pilot was shot, someone called me from the show and said, oh, you've got to hear Moon Zappa's Valley Girl. Sounds just like your character. And then suddenly everyone's saying I'm doing a bad imitation of Moon Zappa.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that's, I think, what really helped me get cast was doing it with that voice. And Claudette and I sort of clicked right away. And
because we were the 18 and overs, and we didn't have to go to school. We were.
We were. And
we didn't have to go to school, and the others had to go to school. They
what
were
that
1
meant,
year younger.
We started
They
rooming.
were a year, one.
Started rooming together, and we had to.
We did. We did. That's
And-
right. I forgot about that.
Are you done?
No. Yes.
Okay, except for, well, because Amy and Sarah and Jamie and John were minors, they got to come in a little later, and so we would get up we were up in the dark.
We were up in the dark. We had to leave the Hollywood Hills at 5 because we had to be down by Disneyland because we shot at the school
Old
down
school.
in, where
Downey.
was that? No, it
Norwalk.
was Norwalk. We had to be in our
Close to Downey.
makeup, very near, makeup chairs at 6. We never made it by 6, but we were close.
Yeah.
And Tracy would stay up till 3 in the morning, so that didn't help.
Yeah, we didn't really get a whole lot of sleep, but you know what?
I did. I like to sleep, but
I didn't, but you know what? It was really, really. We would have done it. We would have done it a million times. Well, we did do it a million times because we were young, and I don't
we
want.
loved it.
And we really, really loved it.
And it was so much fun
fantastic.
once we got there. It was really fun, and it was filmed. It was one camera film, so it was great.
And I remember too with the words, because we had all these Saturday Night Live writers, and there was such smart writing. And everybody was always trying to figure out ways to make it funnier, which of course they do on sitcoms. But usually on a sitcom, first of all, it was a film sitcom. Usually on a sitcom you have, you have 3 cameras and you have an audience,
Right.
a studio audience. And what will happen is, I don't know if Jamie's already talked about this or not, because she does a few of them too. What happens is you go and you rehearse all week, and then on Thursday the suits come down from the network, or they all come down and they tell you what's funny and what's not, and then you have to kind of figure that out by Friday.
Right.
But on our show, we didn't have the interference of that so much. And by the time the script got to us, it was pretty much either these suits were going to drive down to Norwalk and stop what we were doing, or we could just kind of say what was on the page, which was always funnier than what
Really,
they wanted. So
really funny.
yeah, and sometimes I remember when Bill Murray did the show.
I made him laugh. I made him
Did
laugh
you?
in the dressing room, yes. Actually, he was in the dressing room and I was in the dressing room, and I was messing with my wig with the beads on it. And he was doing something, and he said something, and I said, oh, well, yeah, I'm really funny. And he said, oh, yeah, you're funny? And I said, yeah, I'm funny. And then later on, like 5 minutes later, I made him laugh. I can't remember what I did.
Well, that's the punchline. You got to remember
I can't remember
how
the
you
punchline,
made him
but
laugh.
I made him laugh. And he, from then on, I remember in the last...
Make something up.
No, I'm not going to make anything up because I can't remember. But anyway, he loved me from then on. And at the very end, he was playing the teacher that episode. He came to my desk and he danced with me in the classroom.
He did?
Yeah, and it's on the show. It was really great. He was so random. It was great. He's wonderful.
Well, I just remember him taking the script. At one point, that we had so many changes.
That was when we first showed up at work that morning. All the
With
writers were in a room
When he
with
took all
Bill
the
Murray.
brads out of the script?
Yes.
Yeah, we would go through all the colors of the rainbow. When you change the script, they'll bring in pages that are different colors, so you know what the changes are. Well, we went through pretty much every single color in the Crayola box,
Yes.
burnt sienna, magenta, so we were into like double burnt sienna. And he got, I think, a little frustrated with all the changes, and at one point, I remember him taking the brads, which are those little gold rivets that go in the script for those of you who want nothing to do with show business, and took them out of the script, threw it in the air, and he's like, we're not doing this anymore. We're just not.
He did.
We're going to do what we want. And he picked up the director and carried her around the room screaming.
Yes, he did. He really did. He was great.
And I don't think that would ever happen on Hannah Montana.
Well,
or, any of those shows
I don't know. We're not there, but I doubt it.
I don't think so.
No. It was wild and
Devo.
fun.
We had Devo.
We had Devo on the show.